I'm George Miller. Wait. All right, so I'm George Miller. I am a life coach, an executive presence coach, career coach, and I'm here with
Dr. Phil Blue, and I am coach, director of operations here at the Wright Foundation, and professor of applied neuroscience at the Wright Graduate University for the realization of freaking potential.
Badass. Okay, so if you like this stuff, you want coaching, check out in the comments below and in the description below. Like this, subscribe this, let us know what you want. Send us what things you want us to respond to. And if you don't want to do coaching or anything like that, there's all kinds of other things in there for you to check out. Again, I would love to hear from you. We want to hear what your questions are. We want to hear what things you want us to respond to.
And can they contact us directly?
Yeah.
Okay, contact us directly.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Nice.
And I just thought of one more thing. So how cool that you're here on this right now as we're recording this thing, because this guy is closely tied to the school of school. All right, so I'm glad that we're still rolling for this because this guy is tied to the coolest school on the planet, the Wright Graduate University.
Yes.
So there's information about that as well. If you want to find out more about where you get to do stuff like this, like what we're doing right here on responding to this stuff.
That's true.
This is like part of the curriculum is like what's happening now in the world. And we give you the skills to do all of this kind of stuff to develop yourself. So if that's something that you're interested in, this is the guy to contact. Other people that we'll put in the links now. Got it. I hope that helps. So we've got this one. Am I the asshole for reminding my mom I am an adult? All right, looking forward to this one. So there's a concert I am interested in attending soon. It's about an hour from my hometown. So I would probably head back that way and then go to the venue. I initially strayed away from the idea of buying tickets in case there was an event I had to go to for work, but it doesn't look like there will be anything. Okay, so you're in the clear.
Okay.
I told my mom I was thinking about going, and she immediately expressed doubt about
Do we have
the
an
plan.
age on this person?
Well,
Yes.
did she say she's working?
She's
And
working.
she checked to see, so it's at least she's at working age, and it looks like she's driving.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So, she expressed doubt about the plan, saying she didn't quite feel comfortable me going by myself.
I could do it myself, asshole.
She also said it was short notice. Then she said if she had time off, she could come with, but she didn't think she would get that time off. And then she repeated she did not want me going by myself. I told her it would be fine considering I haven't done a lot of long drives before. And to be honest, it seems like she didn't want me to do it because it was not good for her.
Yeah.
If she wants to come with she's more than welcome, and I'd love to have her.
Yeah.
I question that. But I don't think I should have come back out just because she can't come. Oh, shit. So you're driving, like she's doing a whole lot of extra driving here if she does this with her mom.
Yeah. Keep going. This is tough.
She said I should just plan on not going and said it was end of the discussion. Oh, I told her I am an adult and should have the right to make my own decisions. I was not asking for permission. She said I would listen
Was asking for permission. Keep going. Okay.
Ooh. She said I should listen to what she has to say, and I told her I was willing to listen, but not willing to let her make the decision for me. I make my own money. I should be able to spend it how I want.
Mhm.
I don't like it when people try to tell me how I should live my life.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting anyone just by going to a concert, but she just wants control over my life. She got upset with me and hasn't spoken to me since Friday. I told my dad about what happened to see his thoughts, and he said she's just trying to make sure I was safe.
She brought her dad in. Perfect. Okay. And okay. Do we have any demographics on this person?
I got.
Is that the end? Is that all we got?
I am 24. That's at the end.
Okay. All right.
I don't just necessarily like to live my life in fear. But there are some things I'm extra cautious about. But I want to be able to live my life too. Like I said, I'm not hurting anybody. My stepmom took my side and said I should have the right to do what I want. I do not rely on my parents financially.
She got the stepmom involved too.
No! God, please, no! No!
So it was not like they would be giving me money. I'm thinking maybe I should not have even told her, and then I do feel bad for shutting down her concerns.
Yeah.
But it is my life, so I am torn. Edit. I am 25, completely financially independent, and I did not ask my parents for money at all, which may or may not be important, but I think it's more important.
And do we know if living or not living with parents?
I don't know that one.
Okay.
That's it's not in there.
Okay.
Okay, so am I the asshole?
Yeah.
You are the asshole.
She's being an asshole.
You are the asshole. You are absolutely the asshole. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel bad. Okay, so you're the asshole not because you did anything wrong. Like, I totally get that you want to have independence from your mom, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
you're 24, you're making your own money, whatever. But you brought your mom into this. Then you brought your dad into this. Then you brought your stepmom into this. And you're talking about independence, but none of the behaviors you're doing reflect any level of independence except for you making your own money. I apologize, but you have created what we so elegantly call
Drama triangle.
in psychology. And thanks to Eric Burns' student, Stephen Cartman, who developed this from transactional analysis, this is the drama triangle. And so you are the asshole, but I'll tell you how to not be the asshole in this situation. To get out of being the asshole in the situation, it's all about taking responsibility for your life in this situation. And so you brought your mom in on this one. You gave her a bunch of information. You're going to a concert alone. This is all stuff your mom didn't need to know. Now, I'm not condoning just like, don't tell your parents the bad stuff, but this isn't a bad thing. But you gave your mom unnecessary reason to worry about things. And you were clearly undecided yourself, and you're still undecided because you're looking to us to tell you what's right and wrong.
I immediately regret this decision.
And so, in my opinion right now, this is like perfect drama triangle ridiculousness. And what you can do to get out of there is take responsibility for yourself. You can say, Mom, appreciate your opinion. Let's do this thing. I'm going to go to the concert, and I so appreciate you caring for me. And to your dad, say, thanks, Dad. But really what you're doing right now is looking for us to be the rescuer. And to give you a little context on the drama triangle, there are 3 roles in the triangle. If you imagine 3 different points, the top is the victim, you, the asshole. We'll say the victim equals the asshole. And then you have the persecutor, aka Mom, who is not letting you go to the thing. And then you've been consistently looking for a rescuer, someone to step in and be like, oh, you're okay. No problem at all. I'll take care of you. Or, oh, your mom's horrible. Yeah, you're right to be in the victim mentality. Like, you should totally be there. And your mom is so bad. Let me help you. Well, guess what? I'm not going to help you, but I'm just going to let you know that this is a situation that you could solve on your own. And you're not financially tied to your parents. And it sounds like you're not living with your parents. It's a different game when you live with your parents and you're financially dependent on them because their rules kind of matter in that regard. But right now, we've got you out in the world. So go out and be in the world and take responsibility for cleaning up this mess that you really created. And that's my thoughts on it.
That's freaking brilliant. That's awesome. So what I'm hearing is that, yes, you are the underhanded asshole. And it's, I don't know, because it's interesting, but you asked the question, right? But it's not quite what you're expecting to hear. I didn't think of it from the victim standpoint of like how the victim is being an underhanded asshole. We kind of tend to think of it as the persecutor, the person being like if you were going at your mom and being like, you always want to control everything I do and you're such a pain in the butt, then it's kind of obvious. It's like, that's what we typically think of as being the asshole.
Yeah.
But there's a way that in what Dr. Phil Blue's mentioning is that the way you're not taking responsibility, but now I want to know, what is it that she wants? Like what is going on? If you wanted your mom to come to the concert with you, then you would say, Mom, I'm not willing to drive all the way back here. I'd love it if you came. Something like that. Like if that's what you were going for, but there's some kind of like assurance or something. So there's probably a yearning for security in there, and then, but I do like that you got everybody in. And I wonder too, like what your background is. Like, are you first generation? Are you in the U.S.? Like, what's the culture like where you're at? Because that makes a big difference too about, kind of going out on your own, and it changes things.
Yeah, that's a really good caveat. Like there are some assumptions I made about you as a human being. There were not a lot of demographics. So very good call. Thank you for bringing that in.
So I don't know. My approach is yes, you are an asshole. And that we are all assholes, and it's a question of how we're being an asshole. And are we being effective in it? Like, are we being able to use our aggression and things to help us get what we want while helping other people learn and grow in the process? Because if we try to just do the blame thing, well, then we're in the drama triangle and it doesn't really work.
Doesn't work.
So I don't know. Is there anything else that
I think we kind of did. I'm really glad you brought in the other. There's stuff that we may not know that may be affecting this, because there's a high level of victimhood here that I think neither of us really relate to at a level, and so I think that's there for me too.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember asking my mom if I could go to a Marilyn Manson concert when I was like 16 or 17 or something, and I wasn't really asking.
I wish I could have been in the room for that conversation.
Well, and I come from like a pretty conservative background, by the way. So in that instance, I was not really asking for her permission. I had already decided that I was going, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to help my mom come along in her progress.
Yeah.
I was so pissed when she said no, and I was like, what? Really? So it's a very different kind of game. I was still in high school. And from that point on, then I was like, oh, I knew I had to lie to my mom about a lot of things. And I was like, okay, now I need to lie about like this level of things. So it was totally on my part. If I could go back in time, I probably would have just lied in that case and been that kind of an asshole. So, but you know what? Actually, it's kind of a sweet memory now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Like this journey with my mom, and because being freaking parents and kids, I mean, it's quite a thing.
And
quite a freaking
there's
thing.
a contract. There's a contract.
Yeah.
So like when I lived abroad, like there were so many things I didn't tell my parents, and I wasn't lying to them. But when they asked me how I'm doing and I'm in the hospital, I'm not doing well, I'm not going to be like, oh, like really, really bad situation, mom and dad. Like, oh, but hope you're doing okay there in Chicago. Like I would be like, oh, I'm doing great. Because like there's some stuff they don't need to know. Like that's just not okay. Like they're not going to sleep that night. Like I'd like them to sleep that night. So I'll be okay. Regardless, they can't get there. So I mean, there's just certain things I think you can not sweep under the rug, but just like don't put anywhere, So that's
Yeah. They're adulting. Adulting are like a real thing. There's all kinds of ways. Like I'm like, I think I'm being an adult now. Like I'm 40 years old and like working this thing out. So totally.